The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody out there listening to Arm Radio. Thank you for tuning into my show, All Aboard with Donald Whisman. That's me. This show is being broadcast live from Boston, Massachusetts. And as always, before I introduce my co-host, I would like to send all my prayers out to all the men and women serving in our military, you guys. Very important to me. But let me go ahead and introduce my guest tonight. I've got Les Skymo and Dave Coots on here tonight. Go ahead and say hello, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
All right, you guys. Me and Dave are actually, Les, we're sitting here together tonight at Post-Town Elementary School. And what it is, you guys, is we got a friend that actually lives here in this school. And this school is in jeopardy of being taken away from us. And the thing is, we're trying to save this school, okay? And anybody that's listening out there, they can go to posttownschool.com. There's a PayPal, GoFundMe. But what it is, his name's Daryl Whisman, and he opens up the doors for the community when there's bad weather. And there's two major trailer courts that sit within like a mile from here. And those people have nowhere to go. If Daryl Whisman could save one life with this school, it would be worth all the money that we could ever raise. You can't put a price tag on human life. You want to say anything about that, you guys, Dave or Kitles?
Well, you know, I would real quickly, Donald. It's a pitiful situation the way it was done and everything. Not only is that school, that's his home, man, and that breaks my heart. I hope it all works out.
We do too, Dave.
Yeah, it will. It will get it took care of. This place is an icon. I mean, Daryl has helped so many people in so many different ways, guys. I mean, he's opened his doors for storm shelters. He's helped homeless people off the street. He's held charity events for veterans. I mean, he's family to me. I mean, I love that man like no other. He's like a father figure to me, and I know that whatever it takes, we're going to get it done.
And yes, once again, that's anybody wants to look that up online, Google it. That's posttownschool.com, Posttown with 2 T's, and there is a PayPal and GoFundMe account on there. And yes, tonight we will be taking calls. So here's the number. So get your pens ready. The number is 1-800-508-5431. But just give us a few minutes. Let us talk about a couple things, and you guys can start calling in. And even if you don't like us, call in. It don't matter. I don't care. If you disagree with what we're saying, call in. We'll try to treat you as good as we can. If not, if we disagree with you, that happens. But anyway, I do have a Facebook group called Trump 2020 ! If anybody'd like to join, go ahead, join. We're a very patriotic group. We support our president, the 45th president of these here United States. And just don't forget the ! Trump 2020 ! And Dave's sitting here doing some weird stuff to me right now. He's about to make me laugh. But anyway, I want to read a couple of patriotic quotes before we get going here tonight, you guys. Just 2 real short ones. The American flag represents all of us and the values we hold sacred. I love that, you guys. And my second one, to survive in peace and harmony, united and strong, we must have one people, one nation, one flag. Are you guys ready to get this show started?
Let's do it.
All righty here. I want to let everyone know that I am a member of the United Sheepdogs of Ohio. Yes, it is a militia, but it is a constitutional militia. It's about brotherhood and loyalty. And I want to let everybody know that this coming Saturday, the United Sheepdogs of Ohio is planning on going to the Ohio State Capitol in Columbus to the State Building, and we will be there protesting State Bill 260. Now, what State Bill 260 is, Les and Dave, it's a ban on our firearms. Any magazine that holds more than 10 rounds that gun and them magazines are going to be illegal in this state, and we'll have to take our guns out of state to store them. So we can't have this, you guys. And before you guys comment, I also want to remind everybody that there's a federal government. They've introduced some type of bill. I think it's called HR 5087. So everybody needs to contact their senators and tell them no on HR 5087. Let's not take our freedoms and rights away, you guys. It seems to me that a lot of people in this country and the mainstream media have forgotten that we are still at war in the Middle East, you guys, and we have soldiers over there dying to protect our rights here in this great nation we call home. And we got people here that are trying to take away the rights that they're over there fighting and dying for. It sickens me, you guys, and you guys can go ahead and talk about it if you'd like to. Les?
Go ahead. Did you say something?
No, go ahead, Les. Talk about it. I mean, go ahead.
You know, this happens every time, Donald. But this time it's a little different, probably a lot different. First of all, God bless them families. I just pray that God will comfort them somehow, because what a terrible loss. And this never should have happened, Donald. You know, this never should have happened. You know, the Democrats, this is typical liberalism. They don't have an issue for 2018. They don't want just these so-called assault rifles. They want all of our guns. But this Trump, with the President Trump, this Russia thing is fizzling out. Mueller, he's trying his best to keep it going. He's just a liberal plant. And but the liberals don't have no message for 2018 midterms. So to me, they're just trying to, they're using this for an issue, and they're going to turn it on the Republicans and say, see, they don't care about your children, they don't want to ban these weapons, blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's the whole liberal agenda, guys. That's because what happens is they don't have a platform to stand on. Trump's approval rating is higher, and then the first thing they do is they exploit a tragedy. Was it a tragedy that happened? Absolutely. But, you know, it goes back to what I always like to say. Making a good person helpless doesn't make a bad person harmless. You know, H.R. 260 in Ohio, it's a ban on so-called assault rifles. You know, and I guess we need to educate people. Assault rifles have multiple modes of fire. They're not semi-automatic. You know, AR-15 does not stand for assault rifle.
I'm sorry, Coots. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Les.
I was just going to say, you know, that word assault rifle is that's just a hot button phrase, you know, the old dog whistle. They say, if I use a pencil, if I stick you now with a pencil, that's an assault pencil.
Yes,
anything
that's what I was
can
going
be
to
an
say.
assault weapon. Anything.
Les, that's what I was going to say. If you take a BB gun and you shoot somebody in the forehead, that's considered an assault weapon. If you take your hand and punch somebody in the jaw, that your hand should be considered an assault weapon. And you guys, Dave, you probably agree with me on this. You could actually, at close distance, like that guy was in the school, you could probably do more damage with a shotgun than you could have with one of those scary ARs they're talking about.
Absolutely, and that's what they want to do too, though. If you look at some of these bills, I mean, if you look at HR 5087, I believe it is, it goes even further to banning a lot of shotguns and banning a lot of semi-automatics. I mean, they're basically going to try to take you back to revolvers, musket loaders, and 22s.
Yeah, you know, Dave, I was reading an article here about some of these bills, and you know, they want the pistols too. I think that they would be happy for a while if they took us down to a single shot rifles and shotguns.
Les, I don't think enough will ever be enough, though, brother.
Well,
I don't think it'll ever be enough.
Well, you're right. Their main agenda, Donald, is to take all of the guns.
Yes, and Les and Dave, I want to tell you guys, I was reading this article you guys the other day, Les and Dave. It really, really made me mad. A member of ISIS used a helmet cam from a slain U.S. soldier to make a propaganda video. You guys, it's sickening. This video was released by ISIS last Sunday. The video was taken from one of 4 murdered U.S. soldiers. It showed U.S. troops exchanging fire with ISIS. The video runs until the soldier wearing the helmet was killed, you guys. I think it's sad, and I just wish more people would open up their eyes to what's going on, and let's start remembering our soldiers, you guys. I mean, come on. Our soldiers, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the country we're living in today. We have the best military in the world, and by golly, one of these ISIS members should never be wearing around a U.S. soldier's helmet cam or taking that helmet cam and showing his death. I think it's sick, and President Trump, I hope he acts on that, and I hope he does it soon.
You know, Donald, I tell you, this has went on for a long, long time, and you know, we done right in my mind after 9/11 by going over there, because I would rather kill them on their own property, on their own land, than over here. But the Vietnam syndrome has taken over. And this has gone way too long, man. We need to go back to World War II tactics and annihilate our enemy. Just annihilate them, brother. You know, forget this PC bullcrap and hearts and minds. Just wipe them out.
Somebody was trying to call in, Les, but whoever was trying to call in, I'm sorry. I didn't get your call in time, but go ahead and call back. Les, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but somebody was I had my mic muted because I'm trying not to let me or Dave trip each other, but somebody was calling, and I'll give you guys the number again to call in. It's 1-800-508-5431. Call in. I missed your call, so call back in, and Les, go ahead and finish up talking about what you was talking about. And I want Dave to touch on this ISIS still too, because I know it really ticked Dave off, you guys. It really did.
I just basically, that was it. I mean, we need to go back to World War II and annihilate our enemy. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, that's part of the problem, is we've become too politically correct as a warrior nation. You know, they worry about collateral damage too much. The whole ideology of warfare has changed over the course of the years. You know, during World War II, it was carpet bomb the heck out of them. You know, casualties. You know, that's just the sport. You know, war. But now, you know, they've got smart guided missiles and bombs, and they can pretty much drop it down your chimney.
I got a call coming in, but it's not a 1-800. It's from Massachusetts.
Very good.
Hello. Thank you for calling All Aboard. Could I get your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
This is Joe.
Just Joseph. Mr. Rocks, how you doing, Joe?
Good. Okay. I guess I'm not hearing you on the radio, Don.
You're not hearing me?
No, I'm gonna have to reach up it. I'll reach up it. Let me just see what I gotta do. All right.
Okay. Well, Jimmy hasn't poked me or anything yet, so I hope I'm coming through out there. Usually Jimmy pokes me when I'm not being heard.
Let me double check. I'll double check. Okay. I'll take care of it.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Bye.
I'm hearing you loud and clear over here.
I think there's music being played, you guys. Yeah, we're not live. There's music being played, Jimmy. If you can hear me, our producer, there's music being played. Our show there's been music being played during our show. It's gone. Keep playing that, Shannon, until we'll see what happens. They're playing Tina Turner. Jimmy left the room. We wasn't even on air.
I hope he's okay, boys.
Well, there went our show, you guys.
Oh, man.
I don't know what happened. I need to call Jimmy. I think Joe's probably calling him, but how are we going to start this back off? We're down to, we've lost 17 minutes already.
Man, I don't know, boys.
I'm getting texts right now. Hey, are you doing a show at 8:30? Hey, Jimmy, our show's not being played. There's being music played right now. Jimmy? Are we live?
You're live.
Okay, everybody. I don't know what happened there. There was music playing. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, but I'll start over again. Everybody.
No, I got it recorded, so I got it from the beginning. It's just it wasn't being broadcast. If they want to hear the whole thing, they can go on the Spreaker later.
So we're live now. We can continue, right?
Go where we left off.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy. All right, Jimmy, are you backing out so we don't echo? I guess we're not echoing anymore. But anyway, Les, Dave, I want to do. Am I muted still? I wanted to read you guys this quote. And this quote I'm getting ready to read was from Adolf Hitler. Now it's been debated whether it's true or not, and I did some research and I found out that it is true in a sense. And Hitler once said, well, they said he didn't say it, but he did. To conquer a nation, you must first disarm its citizens. And he did. He did take all the guns that belonged to the Jews. Everyone should read this book. It's called Hitler's Table Talk. I know Hitler was a bad man, but if they continue to do what they're doing in the United States right now, we could end up like Germany. We could end up like Russia or China. Does everybody out there want to see that happen? And I apologize that the first part of the show wasn't live, but you guys can listen to it tomorrow on Spreaker. I do apologize. And if anybody wants to call in, we are taking calls tonight. The number is 1-800-508-5431. We still got better half the show left. But anyway, going back to Hitler. Yeah, he did take the guns away from everybody. And I got a question for Les and Dave. I got a question for you guys. What do you guys think this country would be like if the Second Amendment was all of a sudden taken away from us? What do you think this country would be like, you guys? I want your honest opinion.
Venezuela. Look at Venezuela right now. People digging in the garbage, trying to find food, and they're one of the richest countries on the earth, man, with oil and diamonds and rubies, and so yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be no different. We'd be third world country, brother. That's already that is already. If people just look across the globe, it's plain as the nose on your face, don't it?
What do you think, Dave, the country would be like without our Second Amendment? I know you're not going to give your guns up, but just say they did take the Second Amendment away.
Well, I mean, it's already a proven statistical fact, guys, that, you know, in areas where concealed carry permit holders are high, where gun ownership is high, there's less crime. That is the statistical facts. I don't care how anybody wants to twist it. An armed society is a polite society. You know, it goes back to why we have so many school shootings. Why? Because they're gun-free zones. So if you take away the Second Amendment, not only are you taking away our right to defend ourselves, but you're also taking away part of the security for this country, because one of the other reasons that these other countries don't want to come in here is because they know how many guns that we have. I mean, during any particular hunting season, the state of Wisconsin could be like the 5th largest army in the world. You know, they can't, if they come in here, they know it would be a bloodbath.
Well, Les, Dave, I've been doing a lot of thinking over the last couple of weeks, and I don't know, since that school shooting, and everybody's talked about arming teachers and everything, and I'm thinking now. I started thinking about colleges. Now, colleges, you got a bunch of. I'm not going to call them adults. I'll call them young adults, but they're still 18 and over. Dave, you and Les both. I got this ideal just popped in my head here the other day. Not only arm the teachers, but what's wrong with this? If the students carry concealed weapons, why can't the students carry guns to school? And I'm talking in universities and colleges where they're older, not high school kids, but shouldn't those college kids be allowed to carry a gun in school? I mean, they're not kids, you guys. They're young adults. They're trained. As long as they're trained and have that CCW license, I think college kids should be able to carry guns on campuses. I think that would stop a lot of these tragic things that's been happening in our country. It's not going to stop until we start shooting back, you guys. It isn't. It's a fact.
Yeah, Donald, you're right. Absolutely right. And I can't think of the name it seems to me like it's in Texas. I could be wrong, but there is at least one. There's probably more private college that allows their students to carry. But I agree with you. It's not going to stop till we start shooting back. I mean, a no-gun zone. Me and you and Coots know this, and I think the liberals know this, but they want. Swanee, I hate to say this, but I think some of them don't care because they want our guns. A gun-free zone is just it's just a come and kill me sign. Might as well be. Sad to say, but that's true.
It is, and I mean, like I said, it's a statistical fact that in areas where people carry, there's a lower crime rate. You put, if you've got juniors and seniors on that campus, they're 21, 22 years old, and they're old enough to get their concealed carry license, they're old enough to buy a pistol, they should be able to defend themselves. In that situation, just one person in a room could make the difference in life or death. I mean, and these colleges are so liberal, they're taking those kids' ability to protect themselves away from them.
Well, and Dave and Les, our ability to protect ourselves is a God-given right. We have the right as people to protect ourselves. The old people, the weak people. I mean, I'm not just talking about big strong men out here. I think anybody has the God-given right to protect themselves, and nobody has the right to come and take their guns from them to keep them from protecting themselves. And I just the whole show tonight, you guys, is basically I've been hammered on this because I am so ticked off about this. And you guys will have to hear tomorrow, the beginning of the show, we talked about what ISIS did. I mean, you guys, without guns in America, we wouldn't have a country, you guys. I think we need to go back to the old Western days where everybody's going to be packing. I think that's the time it's come back to. I really do. And to move subject along here, this guy, his name is Claude Taylor. Claude Taylor. He was a former White House staffer for Bill Clinton. He put a billboard up in Florida labeling the NRA as a terrorist organization. Unfrickin' believable. The NRA, a terrorist organization? Come on, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's a shame, brother. That just goes to show you how desperate they are. And that's just like that billboard there in Las Vegas. That billboard, it said shoot a .50 caliber for only $29. And so this group, they call themselves in decline is what they call themselves, and they're nothing but vandals. They changed that sign in the middle of the night. I don't know how they done it without getting caught. All the traffic and stuff going on. They changed that sign to shoot a school kid for only $29. Now, why them people ain't been sought out and jailed for vandalizing and made pay restitution back to this gun shop for vandalizing their property? Boys, I tell you what, these people are terrorists. They're domestic terrorists that do this stuff.
I think one of the biggest things that people are neglecting to realize or just don't want to look at it is traditionally, if you go back and look at a lot of the mass shooters that we've had, the majority of them have been probably libtards. So, I don't think there's been one NRA member involved in a mass shooting unless they've been a victim. So to label them a terrorist organization is a stretch, and it just goes to show the mentality of the libtard nation.
Right,
well,
Dave.
What do you think about
Les?
What do you think about Ted Nugent? Ted Nugent being the new president of the NRA, I think he'd do a better job. I swear I think Ted Nugent would be a better president for the National Rifle Association. What do you guys think?
He's proud and loud, brother.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, but
that's okay, brother.
I just want to get that out there. I like Ted Nugent. He's a very wise man when it comes to gun, and he played good music. And thank you, Jimmy Bell, for changing our song to "We're Not Going to Take It," because that's the truth, you guys. We're not going to take it. We the people, we've had enough, you guys. We've had enough, and we're not going to sit here and take it. It's time for Americans to start listening. It's time for Americans to start opening their eyes. It's time for Americans to start standing up and speaking out against what they think's wrong. And that's what we're going to do Saturday in Columbus, Ohio. The United Sheepdogs of Ohio is proudly going there. We're not going there to fight, you guys. We're not going there to fight. We're going there to protest. But they better not mess with us. I'll tell you that now.
You know, Donald, back when the Waco thing, right after that, Janet Reno come up to Columbus, and there was a bunch of us went up there, and but the Democrats had bused college students in up there to the Capitol. They had her surrounded about 2 hours before, maybe longer than that, before the thing ever kicked off. She was giving a speech, and then guess what? It's on gun control and all that nonsense.
Well, sure. Sure.
Yeah, they was 6 or 8 buses of college kids. They bust in there to keep the rest of the people. That was a buffer.
Well,
they use them for a buffer now. That's how heartless they are, and the college kids are stupid enough to go for it.
Well, let's think about this Ohio, this SB 260. If it does make it out of committee and make it to the Senate floor of Ohio, we've got a Republican governor that's not a Republican, you guys. John Kasich, in my book, is a rhino. He is nothing. He even offered for all the illegal immigrants to come in our state without asking the approval of the people. Come on, Dave, chime in on this, brother. This is some important stuff, man. What do you think?
Oh, I think Kasich is a rhino. I mean, it's ridiculous, some of his policies, and he's pretty much a lame duck governor. His own lieutenant governor has called him out publicly, and pretty much shamed him for the stance that he's taken. And if 260 hits the floor, I hope it don't make it through the House, because I'm telling you right now, guys, that's not going to be good for Ohioans. And if HR 5087 goes through, I mean, what's the American people going to do? I mean, there's going to come a time that people are going to have to make a choice. Do we want to live on our knees, or do we want to die on our feet?
Well, Dave, you know good and well as I do. You know as well as I do that if the Second Amendment ever falls, the rest of them's gone, and all these people that are hollering, take their guns, NRA is terrorists. They're going to be crying, brother. They'll be brought to their knees, because they'll be the same boot that's on our neck will be on their neck. They're not thinkers, man. They're not thinking.
No, they can't be thinkers, because I don't know if these liberals believe that the policemen are going to be there to save them, because I've said this before, but the police only show up after the crime has been committed. It's the people have to protect themselves. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And we can't take our God-given right away from the people to protect ourselves. We can't depend on the policemen. We can't.
No, well, I mean, the average response time for police could be, depending on where you live. I mean, we live out in the country here, and it's probably, I would say, 3 to 8 minutes. A lot can happen in 3 to 8 minutes. If you're involved in a bad situation.
It don't take long to kill a bunch of people, and cops is like, it's like I've always said, cops show up after people's killed, while the coroners, just shows up to zip the body bags up. It's that simple.
Well, Les, I'll tell you the truth. If these liberal, I'm not even going to call them liberals anymore. They're more communists and socialism. They're done past socialism. Yes, it's going in. They're going into communism. If these little turds somehow get our guns taken away from us, I'll tell you what. I'm declaring war on these people. I'm not going to take it, you guys. Just like that song that Twisted Sister sings, we're not going to take it. And if these liberals, I don't think they understand what they're doing to themselves, what they're doing to the daggone country. Do they even realize what they're doing? If you take the Second Amendment away, like you said earlier, the First Amendment, that'll be next. Then they'll be telling you what to watch, what to listen to, how much your pay is going to be. We're going to talk about that if we got enough time. I hope we do, but I want to tell you guys, I'm going to change the subject. Now, unless you had something you want to say on that, Dave. All right, but I don't know, Les, if you heard about this, but North Korea and South Korea have made some kind of nuclear weapons truce. Now, I don't know what it's about. I really don't know the details. But if you guys want to talk about it for a little bit, go ahead and talk about this truce that North Korea and South Korea has made. Some kind of little truce. I don't really know what it's about.
Well, I think the Olympics may have kind of right along with President Trump telling him he will annihilate him. But,
I ain't watched a minute of that, Les. I ain't watched 2 minutes of the Olympics, brother.
Oh, I love the Olympics, man. I watch summer, winter. If America's there, I'm there, brother. But anyway, Kim Jong-un sent his sister, and he sent some of the people, they were so-called hockey players. I didn't watch it, but they got whooped good. But I don't know if she had any influence on this decision or not, but I think and I'm hoping that while she was there at the Olympics, his sister, I'm hoping that maybe something happened to her inside to where she got a glimpse of what freedom is, and maybe she took it back to him and very carefully explained it to him, because he killed his own brother, half-brother, so he'd probably kill her too. But now, I don't know if he can be trusted or not. He wants to sit down and talk with America, too.
We got a call coming in, Les. Let's take a call, brother. Let's take a call. Dave, I want to give you a chance to talk about that. All right, you guys here. Let me take got to hit one on there. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you give me your first name and what state you're calling from? And thank you for calling the show.
I'm calling
What was your name?
I'm calling from Texas. This is Sheila.
Hey, Sheila. Now, what state are you calling from again?
Texas.
Okay, Sheila. What's on your mind? What would you like the world to hear
tonight? I
Well,
just heard you mention about North Korea and South Korea, and I had just read a email this afternoon where North Korea is ready to talk to Trump. So he's over there. He's scared. He knows that we can annihilate them and just with one plane.
Well, you know what?
That small of a country.
Sheila, you know what? Thank you for saying that, because I think that's what my other co-host was just getting ready to talk about. I think that's what he's getting ready to say. And Sheila, you sound like a very smart woman, and you sound like you're into politics and you're watching what's going on. And so you're a Trump supporter, eh?
Yes, forever I am.
Well, I'll tell you,
I knew years ago that he was going to be a president one day because of how he presented himself. He was smart. He run around with them. That's why they are treating him like he is, because they used to all be bad, borrow money from him, get advice from him and everything. And now that he knows what he's talking about, draining the swamp, because he knows how our government has been, and he's a family man. He's doing this. He could be out just living the life of the dreams, but he's doing this for his children and his grandchildren. He don't have to, but he's very smart. People underestimate him. I believe he's 10 steps ahead of them all the time. He's had all these years to watch them in action and enforce, and he's the greatest negotiator on earth, how I feel about him. So I'm doing everything I can to get people to open their eyes about it. And people don't need to get fear. We've got so many guns in here, but you're right, trying to chip away on our, they don't even give them people time to grieve. And the sheriff down at the Parkland school, he's a prime example of why we can't depend on our police to take care of us. They were right there and they did not enter the school. They can't, some people like that gentleman sitting with you that lives out in the country, I live out in the country, I can't wait on the police to show up out here to defend me. So if we have the right to defend ourselves, we have the right to hunt for food, we have the right to go against our government if they try to take over. So all of y'all are right. It's going to come down to people are just going to have to start fighting back. That's all it is.
Amen.
And I hate to have to live through something like that, but I've got 5 grandkids, and I'll do what I have to do to make my country safe. My grandson's going in and doing his part, and my voice is going to be my part. So, but I just had to let you know that little bit that we've got to They're not used to having a president up there that roars like a lion and says what he means. They're used to wusses for president, negotiating payoffs and stuff. We got somebody up there now that means business, and I've got my trust in him. And if I pick one lady that was on a Trump campaign site, she already gave up because of he had said that Nancy and Schumer can have their immigration deal. Well, guess what they did? They ran. Where are they? Where are they hiding?
I think Trump.
He knows how to negotiate.
Yes.
He has strategy behind his negotiations. So now, who are they going to be mad at? They're blaming Trump. You know, and I was on their sites when they're marching. A lot of them are actors out there. The dreamers are scared to come out. And I live down here in Texas, and I see what immigration's done to our state, and I'm scared to get out after a certain time and drive anywhere. I'm scared to drive during the day.
That's crazy. Not right. That's not right, Sheila. And Sheila,
I'm ready to get that wall built.
Yes, amen to that, Sheila. And thank you so much for calling our show, Sheila.
Well, thank you.
And you can call back any week. You're more than welcome. And get your friends to tune in to All Aboard every Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Thank you,
voice
Sheila.
Is what matters.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, and I'll continue listening. I want to hear the first part of your program because it was just music.
Yes. Yeah, well.
You'll have to direct me on that.
I'll put it. Send me a friend request.
Guys. Good night.
All right, thank you, Sheila.
I appreciate everything all of y'all are doing.
Thank you.
Everybody out there listening to these men, they know what they're talking about.
Thank you.
All
God
right,
bless
good night.
you. Bye,
love
Sheila.
Love my country and love my president.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
yeah, amen. Bye-bye, Sheila. Thank you.
Amen. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was awesome, you guys. Dave?
Good call. Good call.
You know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I think going back to the North Korea, South Korea thing, I think what's happened is over the last 3 to 4 administrations, even if you go back further, 5 administrations, we've had presidents that have just walked around the issue. They've not took it head on, and then you've got a man who's in office now who's going to stand up and say, hey, you're going to do it this way. You're not going to have a nuclear power because we're willing to punch you in the mouth, and if you punch back, we're going to level you. You know, when you take that kind of leadership position, when you have the most powerful military in the world, people are going to listen. You know, that's the problem that we had with the prior administration is, he drew a line in the sand. People would cross it and he'd back up and draw another line. They'd cross it and he'd back up and draw another line. That's not how you run a country. You have to show strong leadership. You have to be willing to make the tough calls, and that's what our president's doing right now. And that's why Kim Jong-un, the little fat man over there, he knows that if he keeps doing what he's doing, that ultimately it's going to end bad for him.
Oh yes. Yeah. And Dave, you're right. I agree with everything you said. I'm not trying to be a yes man. And what Sheila said, she was a great caller. I love callers like that. And if anybody else wants to call in, please call in. Well, I'm getting a call right now, you guys. I got another one, so let's take it. Hello, this is, thank you for calling All Aboard. Could you give us your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
Chris, calling from Louisiana.
Oh, it's our buddy Chris. Chris follows us around like the Grateful Dead. He's like a deadhead. So what do you got to say, Chris? We love you, brother. What do you got to say tonight?
Well, I just want to say God bless President Trump for what he's doing, and I want to talk a little bit about what I saw at my youngest daughter's school.
Well, make it quick, Chris, because we got some topics. We love you, but make it quick, brother.
Right. Well, I went in there and got her the other day, and I see they put up another set of doors to keep them kids in their space. So, I feel a little better about sending my kids to school now. So.
Well, Chris, that is. I know you're a family man and you got a lot of kids, brother, and I'm so happy that you feel safer now. And they need to do that to the rest of your schools, buddy. And Chris, like I said, thanks, man. Is there anything else you want to say really quick before I get off here, buddy?
I appreciate what y'all doing, and God bless y'all.
All right, well, God bless you too, Chris, and I'm sure Dave feels the same way. You won't be able to hear Dave, but yeah, he put his thumbs up. So thank you, Chris, and like I said, keep tuning in and keep calling in. We love you, brother.
All right, man, you too.
God bless you. Bye, Chris. You guys, Chris is a good guy. He is. He's really a good guy, and he listens to our show every week, and you gotta love him. Chris, he's a real good guy. But anyway, I want to talk about something, Dave Les. I want to talk about this guy, and I know you guys probably know his name is Dick Stack. Now, this Dick Stack guy, I don't know if you guys know, everybody out there listening, he owns Dick's Sporting Goods, Field and Stream, and he owns all kinds of other sporting goods. Now, Dick, he announced immediately the end of all sales of assault rifles, and there's no longer going to sell high-capacity magazines, and he is no longer going to sell guns to people under the age of 21. Then last Wednesday, Walmart even announced they're not going to sell guns to people under the age of 21. I don't know. I didn't even know the grocery store called Kroger's. They actually own a chain of stores called Fred Meyer's. I've never heard of them, but even Fred Meyer's stores, they're going to stop selling ammo and guns to people under 21. Well, I got news for you guys. These big old chains like that, go ahead and stop selling them to people under 21. You know why? Because the little man, the little guy, he'll sell that ammo to people. He'll sell them guns to people. And it's time the little man has a chance to sell stuff. I'm glad these big chains are doing this. Maybe the little guy will have a chance to make some money. What do you guys think?
Well, Donald, there was a Myers up there in Middletown, Myers Square.
I don't think that's had anything to do with that sporting goods, though, is it, Les?
I'm not sure, but I believe it's the same chain. But anyway, there was a 20-year-old kid that quit Dick's, and he wrote a letter to his company. They had him on Fox and interviewed him, and he said, "Hey, I just can't back this. He's 20 years old," and he said, and he's a hunter. And, of course, we know the Second Amendment ain't about hunting, but for most youth, that's where they learn gun safety. But anyway, he quit and can't remember the store that hired him. He said he was hired immediately by this other sporting goods.
Ain't you happy for the small guy, though, Les? The little guy can sell more.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what gets me, Donald?
Yes, I'm sorry, brother. I got another call. Les.
Go ahead,
sorry.
Take it.
I'm going to take it, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Thanks for calling All Aboard. Could you give us your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
My name is Gary, and I'm calling from Ohio.
Hey, Gary. How you doing tonight, brother? Nice to hear from you.
Thank you. I got a couple of questions about these libtards and stuff. I know when I was in the military, we talked bad about our president. We could face court-martial.
You're right.
We burn a flag. If anybody burnt the flag or stepped on the flag, that was like a major sin.
Oh, yes.
What's going on in this country? What's going on is these people think they can just mistreat the whole American way.
Well,
if you look at things the way they are, like in Los Angeles and places, they're living under blue tarps and shit, you know? These people need to realize that that's what they're wanting to come to this country. This is a free country. We fought hard and proud for this country, and I'm one of them.
Well,
I sit back and watch these stupid.
Well,
Go ahead.
Gary, I'm going to put my co-host on there. He wants to say a word to you, Gary. Hang on, my co-host wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Hey, Gary, I think what's happened is we have turned this country into a bunch of people who they just don't care. They're intolerant, of our traditions. And yesterday we went and saw a World War II vet, highly decorated veteran, and spent some time with him. And when he talked about how they're stepping on our flags and the way that they're disrespecting our country, he was in tears, and he flat out said that's not what he fought for.
That's right. And I'm not from the World War II era, but I'm from the Vietnam era. And I know that we fought our lives for so many lost. And to see people disrespect our country the way they do now. And we got the best president that I think we've had since I've been alive. He stands up for what he says. These people, all they do is try to belittle him and try to make him look bad. He's the best thing that's ever happened to us. I can't tell you one thing that's went in a negative way since he's took over. And you take one person, send an email or something top secret out, and they're court-martialed. You take Hillary Clinton and Obama and all these others. Well, why aren't they in prison? Why aren't they being reprimanded for what they've done? It makes me mad to think we put our lives on the line, and it's for what? For them to play this game like this is? Trump will change it. It'll come back around. It'll probably take the full 8 years. And by the time his 8 years is up, there'll probably be a new law that he'll be like the queen or something. He'll be here forever. We'll never have another president.
Well, Gary, I tell you what, we love Trump, and we think he's doing great things too. I think one of the biggest problems, though, is, the liberals, the libtards, as you said, as I like to refer to them, I think that now they think they're above the law. They don't have to follow the laws that are written. They think they can do whatever they want because they have mainstream media on their side, and when the mainstream media, they think that if they tell people a lie long enough, that eventually the American people are dumb enough, they're going to believe it. And that's why we have to keep doing what we're doing, Gary. We have to keep doing these shows, changing people's minds, change one show at a time. We have to keep.
But why don't we go back to the way it used to be? Why don't they pull a fire truck out there and blow them off the streets? It's a federal law to block an interstate highway. For them to sit out there and block highways and block roadways, they need to wash them down the road, get them off the streets where there should be.
And
we don't do anything.
I think that's what they should do, Gary. I think that, we've been way too lenient on these people. If you get out and you're blocking a federal highway, you're blocking a city, if you're doing damage to innocent people on the highway, make it a law. If you're blocking my way and my family's in the car and you surround my car and you start beating it and shaking it, I should be able to floor it. And if you're on the highway and you get run over, it's on you.
I think Tennessee
You can
did
bet your
that.
ass if me and my family's in my car and they're blocking a road, you can bet there's going to be a path cut through. I guarantee you that.
And Les just said he thinks that Tennessee made a law where, if you're blocking a road as a protester and a person feels in danger, they can. They can hit that accelerator pedal and run you over.
Well, it should be.
Well, Gary, I want to tell you personally, thank you for calling in. You sound like a very patriotic man. Thank you for your service in Vietnam, Gary. And not only are we losing our World War II veterans right now, we are losing our Vietnam veterans. But Gary, somebody else is calling in. I'm going to go ahead and take the call, brother. Amen, and God bless you. Hello, this is, thank you for calling All Aboard. Could you give me your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
This is Sheila again from Texas. I just wanted to comment on about the stores that took the law into their own hand and raised the age limit up to 21. There was a boy that went into both of them, and they refused to sell him a rifle, and he's got a lawsuit with him. Pray that he wins big, because it's the law in their state that 18 and over, you can go in and buy a rifle. And they already took it into their hand to say, no, they're not selling underwood. So this is going to be an interesting thing how it plays out. I hope Walmart goes broke. I hope Dick's goes broke. And the mom and pop stores come up and benefit from everything. That's been one of my dreams. I hate corporations. Because they get in with the government and all the elite and try to control and turn us back into peasants again.
Well, Sheila, you sound like my kind of person. You sound like my kind of person. I like your way of thinking. You think like I think, and you're a patriot, Sheila, and thank you. And yes, I hope they go broke. And I hope all the little guys out here with the gun stores, the personal owners, I hope they these private little gun stores, I hope they make all the money, Sheila. Heck with these big chains.
Me too. Exactly, that's what it's all about there. I mean, what company in Walmart, at one time they were number one between them and Exxon in the world. And I'm like, why do they want to take over all of it and put all these stores out of business? And it's just crazy. It's insane. I worked for Walmart twice, and I got hurt for each time that I worked for them. I'm on disability now. I hate that store. And every time you go in their dang store, well, they don't have nothing in there. They can't keep it sharp. They're too big. They're too tough on their workers and everything.
Sheila, you know that places like Walmart, they've killed all the little mom and pop stores in this country.
They sure have.
The Speedways, the little man don't have a chance anymore in this country. And it's a shame, Sheila, that these big corporations move in and just kill the mom and pop stores. It's a shame.
It sure did. They hurt little godly Texas out here. They put in one of them little marketplace stores,
right,
and all their mom and pops went out of place, and then they shut that store down. And boy, they was pissed off because they had to drive to Cleveland to get their groceries. So they're messing with people's head. You know, Sam Walton don't own it no more. He's passed away.
Right.
So it's CEO, and they're all about the almighty dollar, and they don't care about nobody.
Sheila, it's not only them. It's the liberals in this country, too. Sheila, it's the liberals in this country,
yes,
too.
It is.
It's all about money.
I call them libtards.
That's what my friend Dave just calls them. He calls them libtards, and yes, that's what they are, Sheila. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you again for calling in, and also, Sheila.
Okay.
You know that the first part of this show was like playing music, but you know it happens when you do live radio. Stuff like that happens, but
yes, I understand.
And like I said,
I've been trying to get on for 3 weeks, and finally I got on, and I thought, well, it's still playing music. I'm on right. And finally I heard you talking and echoing, and I'm like, yes. Well, I got so excited.
Well, that's the first time it's ever happened, Sheila, and since we've been doing a show back in October. But I guarantee you, Sheila, I mean, just things happen on live radio, but tune in next week at 8 o'clock. We'll be on here. We've got a lot of good things we're going to talk about, Sheila, and you're more than welcome to call in and join us anytime, and you're like our kind of person, and we love Texas out here in Ohio. We live in Ohio, so
I'm working on. Yeah, I feel sorry for you up there in Ohio and Pennsylvania, what they're doing, letting illegals vote.
Our governor,
California.
Our governor's a Republican, and he invited all the illegals to move to our state without asking the people. But Sheila, we're getting down close to time to close the show, and I'm going to let you go for now. But Sheila, thank you for calling in so much. I appreciate you calling in.
Well, you're welcome.
Get your friends to tune in.
Talk to y'all next week.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome to call in and get your family and friends to download that TuneIn app and listen to Armed Radio. Thanks, Sheila.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, Dave, I'll tell you, she's very passionate about, things that we're passionate about, Les and Dave, you guys. She's a great woman. I don't know her, you guys. I don't know her. I'm glad she called, though.
You know what, Donald? And you guys may or may not know this, but in the state of Texas, for somebody stealing your property, you can shoot to kill. Just stealing your property.
Oh, and it's not just your property, your neighbor's property too, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do we have a castle law here in Ohio, Dave?
We do have the castle law, but we don't have stand your ground in Ohio.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys, we've really got to stop this State Bill 260. I mean, it's important, you guys. It is so important to stop this.
It is, but I'd like to touch on the Dick's Sporting Goods things, guys.
Go ahead.
I mean, the thing that people need to remember is back, 2 or 3 years ago, we had a Christian cake baker who didn't want to bake a cake for a gay wedding. Now, to each their own, whatever their sexual orientation is. That's not my place to judge, but, if they can pretty much destroy that gay cake baker, and Walmart, Dick's, the Krogers, they've blatantly come out in public and said, we're not selling you this because of your age. That should be age discrimination because it's a federal law, 18 to 21. You can buy ammunition, rifles, and shotguns. So basically what they're saying is an 18 to 21-year-old can go to war, can die for your country, but you can't come home and be able to defend your family. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right about that, Coots. And that's my beef. About raising that age.
I think tonight was wonderful, even though half the show was listening to radio, some of the show was, but it's live radio, like I said. But we had Gary call in, very patriotic guy. We had Sheila. very patriotic, and that's what I want to do. I want to grow this show to where the American people can utilize this show to speak their mind. I'm going to use this show for the American people, and that's what it's about. Like I said a couple weeks ago, this show's not about me or Dave or Les. It's more about the American people and my love and our love for our country, you guys. And that's how I feel. And to change the subject, I think we got a couple minutes left. I just want to tell you guys that a Rasmussen report came out Thursday, and they said Joe Biden would be the preferred candidate for the Democrats in the 2020 presidential race. What do you guys think about that? Wow.
Well, I
Joe
think
Biden?
they need to arrest him for being a pedophile, number one. You seen them videos of him rubbing and filling up on them kids?
No,
I haven't seen him.
Okay, boys. Well, I'll send them to you. I'll put them on. They're on YouTube. He's a pedophile in my book.
Wow. Well, I think that Biden would be easy for Trump to beat.
I do too.
Well, you guys, I think, well, I don't know. I hope they get somebody he can beat. I mean,
well, here's the thing, though, guys. If you look at it, you look what he's doing for the American people, and I'm just talking about like people in my family. My stepdaughter and my sons. More money in their paycheck every week. Better tax rates. Safer
20
communities.
seconds, Dave. I hate to cut you off, but we got to say.
That's okay. Hey, I'd like to tell everybody thanks for listening, and we'll see you later.
Hey,
y'all. Bye-bye.
God bless everybody. Tune in next week. All aboard. God bless each and every one of you. And God bless our soldiers. Thank you for listening to All Aboard tonight. And tune in next week, please. We got a lot of things to talk about next week. Thank you, guys. And like I said, God bless America, and God bless our president, Donald J. Trump.